Today you're going to create an assembly. And this first assembly that you first put together with the blocks to show that you understood the different views is the assembly you'll finish. In order to create an assembly, the first thing you have to do is tell the Inventor program that what you are creating is not a part, not a drawing, but an assembly. So we'll go up to the New button from the shortcut menu and choose Assembly. And you have a blank palette. So we have to get the blocks that we need for our assembly. You get the blocks by placing them into your assembly. Very important. Some students want to open the parts and then they're stuck. Once they open it, they don't know what to do because it's not an assembly, it's just a part. So you're going to click on Place and then go to where you saved your parts. For me, it's in my documents. For you, I asked you to save them on your student drive. And for the first assembly, I see that I need 3 cubes. So first I'll put in the cube. There's one. Whoops. And I click. There's the second one. And click again. There's the third one. And it'll keep on making more until I tell it that I'm done. So I right click now and say done. And it stops at those 3. Okay, 3 blocks. I see that I also need to place a cube with a hole in it. And I just need one of those, so I click once, right click and say done. I need the triangular prism. And click, right click, done. And I need one more piece. I need the cylinder. Okay, now what I need to do is create the assembly or lock these pieces in place. You'll notice that you can move all of the pieces except one, and the one that's not moving, this one doesn't move. I'm clicking and trying to move my mouse, but nothing happens to it. That's the first piece that I placed into the assembly. So everything is built around the first piece that you put in there. So you want to keep that in mind whenever you start an assembly. Which piece do you prefer remain stationary? Usually it's going to be kind of the middle piece of your assembly. Okay, now I need to lock these pieces into place. So I'm going to use a tool called Constrain. And there are 2 different things I need to do. I need to tell this block in relationship to this block that these 2 faces are going to be flush, the 2 that I'm pointing at with the mouse here. And I also need to tell it that the faces that are connected are going to be what we call mated. Okay, I like to mate first. It usually happens for me that if I use the mate tool first and then the flush tool second, that I have less errors. Okay, here's your constrain tool. Click on constrain. This one is mate and this one is flush. So it's already on mate. I'm going to leave it alone and click on the 2 faces that I want to mate. So I clicked on that one, and now I need to get over to that other side of this cube. If I click on the edge, then that's not going to work. It's going to mate this face to the edge, so I'm not going to do that. I'm going to use my tool here and turn it around so that I can see that face. And say apply, and then I'm going to go back to this cube and click on what looks like a house, and I'm back to that view. Okay, I'm going to close this and just show you that the program now knows that these two faces should be mated, but that's all it knows. Now I also need to tell it that two faces are flush. So again, I'm going to my Constrain tool and click on the Flush tool this time, and I can go top, two faces flush. See how they lined right up? That's what flush means. And these two are flush. And now that cube is locked in place. It won't go anywhere. That's just what I want. Okay? Now let's take this cube and do the same thing to lock it in place to the front of this stationary cube. Constrain. Remember that I want to mate first. So I want this face mated with this face. And apply. And what do I do next? Change it to flush. And flush these two faces. They line up. But now I still need to flush the tops so that they line up. And it's all locked in place. Okay? Now I want this cube to be stuck on this one. So I go mate first. I want the top of this cube to be mated with the bottom of this cube. Be sure not to click on the hole. We're mating the face. So mated, apply. Okay, and I can flush the two fronts. Flush. Okay, and now I have a little problem. I need to mate these two sides, or two faces, and I can't get at the one inside here. So I need to do something a little bit new. I'm still going to flush, so I click on flush, and the face I want to flush, and I'm going to click on a face that's in the same direction, okay? Click, and notice that it flushed it with this, but there's a tool over here that says offset. I want to move that cube back an inch. I think my cubes might be 1.5 inches. Let's see what happens if I put an inch in here. Oh, no, mine are 1 inch also. Okay, click on apply, and now it's stuck in place. Okay, so that was brand new. The only thing that was different here, we flushed this face to this face, but then we told it to move over 1 inch so that it was locked in place where we wanted it to be. Okay, now I'm going to constrain this triangular prism to the front of this cube, and I need it to turn. So a common question is, well, how do I get that to turn? It's facing the wrong way. Well, the way you get it to turn is to tell the face behind this triangular prism, the one I can't see right now, to be mated with this face right here, and then it will automatically turn, because it has to turn in order to mate. So the tool is on mate right now. I click on this face, and now turn around here and mate it with this face, and look at that, it turned. Okay, and now I need to flush two faces. I mate one, flush two. Well, this one's pretty obvious. I'm going to flush those. Remember to change it to flush. Flush, flush, apply, and then I have a triangular prism that knows to be flush to the front. It knows to be mated, but it doesn't know anything in relationship to moving this direction. So I still need to flush, can you guess? The bottom. Okay, whoops. There we go, flush, and now it's locked in place. Okay, now I have the cylinder. And much like the last piece, in order to get that cylinder facing the right direction, because I need it standing up, I need this face to be up. So I'm going to leave it on flush this time. I know that this face has to be flush with this face. So I'm going to click on those two, and you'll see it pop up in the right direction. Okay, and now this time when I'm mating the cylinder, I use a different tool because I have a round, well, I don't know if I can say edge, a round surface of this cylinder and a flat surface on the face of that cube. Right here you'll see that there's a tool called tangent, and it even has a picture of a round cylinder against a flat edge. That's the tool we're using. Okay, this time you have two different tools here. It's inside and outside instead of mate and flush. Do we want that cylinder to be inside this cube or outside this cube? We want it outside, so leave it on the outside tool. I need to click on this face, click on the round surface of that cylinder and apply it. And let's see what we still have left to do. We usually have three things. So far we've done two. We flushed the face of the cylinder and the face of the top of that cube, and we have attached the round surface to the flat surface of the cube, but we have not told it yet to be flush with the front of that cube. So again, since we're dealing with a round surface in our command, in our constraint, we're going to choose the tangent tool. And let's see what happens if I just click. Sometimes I just don't even pay attention to which tool I'm using unless it's real obvious. And here it's not so obvious. Do we want outside? Do we want inside? I'm not sure. But I know that I'm using the tool that has the round surface with the flat surface. So I just click on the round part of my cylinder, the flat part of my cube, and oh, I see that the outside didn't work so well on that one. So now I'm going to click on the inside, and sure enough, that's where I want it to be. Apply, and we should be done. Let's click on the home button again. That's our isometric view. Make sure nothing moves. This does spin right now, and we'll talk about that later, but that's just fine with it spinning. And everything is in place. Make sure you save with the I, save as, and I'm going to save this in the same folder where I was getting the shapes from. For me, it's Inventor, and I think I'll make a folder called Assemblies. And this one says Assembly 1. That's what I want it to say. So I save. Okay, that's it. Good luck. Let me know when you're finished.